We in the bag and we back in the TI. And I'm in a bad bitch and I got in the deal. Oh yeah, I'm still saying.
YouTube, what's going on, y'all? It's KHAIO back in the building. Hey, it's been a minute. YouTube, I made a video, actual video. I've been making shorts, but I haven't made a video in a minute. But to get this video out to y'all, as you see, school's about to start like this week or so, unless you already started. I wanted to do a Q&A that a lot of people used to ask me questions about Morehouse College. So of course, y'all know what the video is, the truth about Morehouse College. Talk about a couple things. As y'all can see, I got my diploma. Business administration, concentration in finance, and I got my minor in economics. So as you can see, I am a recent graduate. I just graduated this year. I'm gonna talk about a couple of things, so that's enough about me, and let's get into the video. First question that I got on my Q&A is it worth the money? And I would just start off in general as college, HBCU, doesn't matter what college you go to. It really depends on what do you wanna do? What do you wanna do with your life, as of course how much money you make, how much money you would get, scholarships, all of that plays a big part. So Morehouse specifically, I would say HBCUs is usually expensive. We all know that. Morehouse, Spelman, Clark, Tuskegee, any HBCUs that you can think of is usually expensive because where we started from the ground up, build a way to get the scholarships, to get the education, to be able to go to college, because back then we wasn't allowed to go to school. Y'all know the history. So is it worth the money?
No.
I would say, for Morehouse College specifically, get your scholarships, get a full ride if you can, financial aid, like based on everybody's story is different, but you don't want to go in there, not be working on scholarships, not doing applications, paying, what the price is now. Let's say 150, 200K when you come out of debt, when you get in debt. So worth the money, I would say yes, but apply to scholarships, especially your first 2-3 years when your classes are more lighter and you're not into your real major yet, full major yet. Try to apply as many scholarships, applications that you can to get that debt as low as possible. And of course, for the ones that got a full ride,
it became personal with me.
Next up on my Q&A questions that a lot of people used to ask me is visitation. So I feel like only HBCUs does this visitation thing, especially back when I was going. I'm a COVID baby, so graduated high school in COVID. So it was way stricter back then, as visitation, like you couldn't go through a lot of things. You couldn't bring no shorties over. You couldn't bring no guests unless they was, Morehouse is an all boys school, y'all didn't know. So bringing a girl over was like life or death, depending on what time period you're in. So back in my time, 2021, 22, you bring visitors over. And I feel like HBCUs is really the only schools that be strict on that. So Morehouse is an all boys school. You have Spelman and Clark right next door. This. You usually have hours you can bring in visitors. Of course, we all used to sneak people in. You know me, like you know us. You're not gonna be allowed. We ain't about to be around guys all the time. Like no.
You're goddamn right, brother.
Visitation now, before I graduated, I seen that it's way more chill, way more free. Of course, you got certain dorms that can have more visitation, but back then it was worse. Like you was playing hide and seek, bringing the shorty in, going through the bathroom, getting to your door. Like it was crazy. Like had all your friends on each floor watching all the RAs. It was fun though, I ain't gonna lie. It was fun doing that.
You're goddamn right, brother.
But visitation now is pretty much chill. Like you can bring in anybody for the most part. They don't really be too strict. Everybody be in the dorms. It's pretty cool, as long as if you have a cool RA too, really chilling. So visitation, second question, you should be straight. Spelman and Clark is right across. Crazy thing is Clark got it worse now than Morehouse. It used to be opposite.
Embarrassing.
That's a whole different story, whole different video. But yeah, you should be smooth, bring anybody in. Sometimes they may trip based on the RA that you have, but visitation wise, you should be smooth. Next Q&A question I got on the list is school atmosphere. Going to the HBCU was one of my best decisions that I made. Only one of them. You know, I got a lot of good decisions. But going to HBCU though, it's like a family cookout. Like, of course, African Americans, HBCUs for African Americans, historically black college. It's like a family cookout. You literally going with all your people, having a good time. You doing your schoolwork, after schoolwork. It's so easy as us to make friends, and school atmosphere is lit. You gonna have stuff every Wednesday. We call that Hump Wednesday. You gonna have stuff every Friday at Spelman, Market Friday. So all the freshmen that's coming in, of course, congratulations that y'all application out I get in. Y'all gonna have fun. Y'all gonna be lit. I know y'all go back Wednesday, I believe, this week. So y'all gonna be lit. So school atmosphere, like a big family cookout. But it's not your family though. It's random people.
Oh, say less.
Have fun. Go crazy. You can do whatever you, of course, be respectful. You're gonna make tons of friends. Morehouse, you make all your brothers. I'm in Clark. I don't gotta say too much. School atmosphere is gonna be lit. Homecoming, it's gonna be lit. Spring Fest gonna be lit. So every Wednesday, Friday, is events happening all the time. And of course, during certain weeks, there'd be tons of events to do. So it's gonna be lit. Freshmen, y'all gonna have a good time. Like, play chess. Just play chess. Have fun. Play chess, have fun. Live life. Those are 3 things we're gonna keep saying on the rest of the video.
Oh, say less.
4th question on the Q&A is sharing a bathroom with others. When I tell you, oh my goodness, when your parents, if you have parents that used to be so strict on cleaning stuff, I see why. Because niggas don't know how, a lot of niggas don't know how to clean after themselves. It's crazy. So like my sophomore year, so I transferred in. Sophomore year, like, you share the bathroom depending on what dorm you're in, but most of the time you sharing the bathroom. Some bathrooms be clean, some people know what they doing. If everybody's straight, everybody raised correctly, they clean up after yourself, you don't mind make a mess. But like some niggas don't know, like leaving tissue everywhere.
Oh!
Some niggas were like, of course when you shaving and stuff, doing haircuts, they leave the hair there on the sink. I don't even want to go more into depth with like toilets and shit. Like that's a whole different story. But like your parents like make you clean. You gotta be a clean nigga. And that's another thing too. Girls don't like unclean niggas. Like whole room junkie, your whole like they gonna be turned off. So just stay clean. I say my experience, it was both ways. Some bathrooms was nasty. Some bathrooms was real clean, depending on where you was at. So just get your brothers straight up. Get your brothers right. And most of the time it's clean, but just expect them that one person, that one few people that just don't know how to clean up after themselves, just beat their ass. Just beat their ass. Just say that.
It became personal with me.
5th question on the Q&A list is roommates. So of course, having a roommate, go one of 2 ways. Do a roommate survey before you go in. Like what you like, what you don't like. Do you like play video games? Do you stay up late? You an introvert? You an outrovert? You fill out that whole list online and then try to match you with a roommate that also comes from the same city. Luckily for me, sophomore year when I first came in, shout out to CJ. We were both from the same area, Chicago. He was lit. Of course, he was more of an introvert, but we was cool, and I brought him outside too. So we had to get that introvert out of him. But we was lit. We was cool. Respected each other. We was both clean. Everything was smooth. Most likely, you're gonna stay on campus, and then you probably get kicked out of campus.
I beg your pardon.
That's for a different story, different video.
I beg your pardon.
But freshman, sophomore year, of course, if you don't like your roommate, you can switch roommates. You might have friends after freshman year that change roommates depending on what dorm you in. The Suites and Robert and sometimes Purdue, you can have your own room depending on how the situation goes. But usually all the freshmen and sophomore dorms, most likely you're going to have a roommate unless your roommate just leaves or do something like that. So of course, roommates can go either or. Of course, you can switch them out. Of course, if you have like a problem with roommates, you can try to switch roommates with other people or talk with your RA or talk with the housing director. This can go one of 2 ways. Can really be really good. Want another brother in your life that y'all cool with, respect each other, stuff like that. Oh, I need a room for like 30 minutes. We know why.
Why?
It can be bad, lead to something worse, whole different other scenarios and occasions, and it can go down here from there. So definitely roommates can go both ways. Of course, pick your poison for sure. Question 6 Q&A question that we got is dorm size, and yeah, that's about it.
I beg your pardon.
I'll say dorm size. Yeah, of course, freshman, sophomore year, you come in. A dorm is gonna be a dorm at the end of the day. Your roommate and dorm really depends on what dorm you in. So some dorms are bigger than others, and that also reflects on your roommate and how much space he needs or he needs as well too. So definitely, I would say dorm is at a dorm. At the end of the day, once you hit your junior year, save up. It's just better to live off campus once you have your car. I'm pretty sure everybody's having a car by then. Have your car about like a year or 2 on campus and just get you a roommate and find you a regular apartment. I didn't say student housing because student housing in Atlanta costs a grip, costs a lot. Trust me, I've seen it myself. We've seen people paying $15, $16, $15, $1,400 by themselves along with roommates. Each roommate is paying $1,400. like you live by yourself. That's for student housing. Regular apartments, you get to share it. So right now I had 2 roommates. They are still seniors in college for Morehouse, and I have enough space, as you can clearly see. And of course I work now, I'm graduating and all that, but after the first 2 years, even a year, first 2 years, of course you want to experience that little college life on campus as well too. Get them first 2s in, but once you hit that junior year, get kicked out regardless. Get you save up a lot of money, save up wise, get you an apartment so you can have more space to yourself, and find an apartment that's closer to college, so about like 10-15 minutes, and you should be smooth. So dorm size, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Question 7 I got on the Q&A list is, are the classes hard? I would say it really depends on your major, and it depends on you, for real. If you really want to learn, you can do whatever you want to do. You can learn as much as you want to learn. You can succeed and pass all the classes depending on what major you are. Of course, the first 2 years are easier. You know, freshman, sophomore year, you have your minor, you have your regular classes like math, PE. The fact that we still got PE, math, English, those are just regular classes. You don't hit your major classes for the most part until you hit your junior year. So 2 years, you're pretty smooth. First 2 years is really to have fun. Of course, do all your work, do all your classes as well too. Get all out the way, but first 2 years is to make as much connections as possible, because that's what college is for as well too. Once you get into your major, depending on your major, I would determine if the classes are hard or not. So of course, junior year, you want to do good at the end of the day, but once that junior, senior year, really the end of sophomore year, second semester, sophomore year, you gotta lock in. So classes ain't hard. It's just, are you willing to put in the work to learn what you need to do to pass a class? So definitely would say, and the teachers is where mess with you, because they us too, so you get them in check, build a relationship with your teachers, learn. Actually, you might have to go to some tutoring sometimes, some study halls, you might have to go to the library. You're gonna have to put in the time for sure. So the class is hard based on how much time you put into the class, I would say. Number 8 on the list, this was kind of tied with another question that I kind of already answered, was the school atmosphere. So this one is college, campus life. Campus life is gonna be lit, like I said earlier. You're gonna have fun. There's gonna be tons of events on each different school that you're gonna be able to go to with your friends. Wednesday, Market Friday. Clark got Market Thursday. Different events. Usually every week is at least 3 events that you can go to. Sometimes it might be every day, even the weekends. You got football games. Of course, you got basketball games. So I'm gonna talk about sports in the next video. So if you guys, of course, want a part 2, which I'm gonna do anyway, I would do another 10 list of Q&A questions about college, HBCU, Morehouse College as well too. Campus life, you're gonna be lit, you're gonna have fun, you're gonna get distracted a little bit. So of course you wanna do all your work. Depending on how you learn, depending on what level you in grade wise too. Freshman, sophomore years, you might get work done easier. You might have enjoyed campus life to the fullest. It really depends on your major, school classes, how you learn and how you do homework. So campus life, you're gonna be lit regardless. Brothers, different schools, rotating around different Spelman, Clark, Morehouse, even Morris Brown as well too. Morris Brown is a little bit further out, like a good 5-10 minutes further out, but it's like a 2-minute walk. Clark's like a 2-minute walk. Morehouse is this literally really one school, just different areas. So campus life, you're gonna be lit.
Oh, say less.
Now the final 2 Q&A questions I got, so number 9 is financial aid. And when I mean by financial aid, I really mean like the financial advisors. And the most key point thing I would say, you have to stay on top of a sheet of like what your major is and how many classes you gotta take to graduate and how many credits you need. You have to stay on top of that, especially with your financial advisors. Financial advisors, they do their job depending on which financial advisor you got, but you gotta be caught up, stay on check with them literally every semester, or they will make you do a whole nother year.
I beg your pardon?
Or I've seen people have to take another semester, can't take this class because it don't prereq this class. You really just gotta stay on top of it too. So try to follow that schedule. Make sure you take about 15 to 18 credit hours each semester. Of course, you can do 18 and a half. So the max is 18 or 20. A lot of times I did 18 and a half, which is about 3 or 4 credits for Morehouse each class. So that's about like 4, 5, 6 classes. You can knock it out the way, like your freshman year and all that. You can get all the classes, knock it out the way, have a more lighter schedule in the future, like your junior or senior year. Or sometimes you might take easier, like 4 or 5 classes, get used to it, and still have a lot of free time, but you might have more classes later on. So I would just say stay on top of your financial advisor, stay on top of your classes. Definitely pay attention to that, because that can save you a whole bunch of more money that you got to spend, extra year, extra semester that you don't really want to do. So financial aid, financial advisors, I would say just stay on top of it. Once that you stay on top of it for a little bit of time, and then once it's all set, you should be good for the semester for schedule wise. But HBCU definitely has a thing about financial aid and financial advisors of messing up your classes. So stay on top of it. Last but not least on the list is another Q&A question. So this is my final one I'm gonna do for this video, is safety. So I would say, of course, you know, a lot of HBCUs are technically in the hood area.
Jesus Christ.
Like Morehouse, Clark, Spelman is in the West End. It's not as bad as it used to be. I heard back then it used to be way worse, like 2016. Beforehand, it's definitely gentrified and getting rebuilt and more protection. Of course, our gates are gated around, so of course, most of the time you need the ID. You show the police officer to get in. It's also like to drive in, to park as well too. Parking I will talk about in the next video as well too, so that's a different story. Safety wise, like you in the hood, but of course it depends on where you come from. Being around Chicago a lot, even though I'm not from there, and being in Chicago a lot, of course Chicago is to me more dangerous than Atlanta to me. And a lot of aspects. So, but safety wise, it's all gated. Of course, you always gonna have to watch your surroundings. Of course, if you with a female or a Spelman night, like I said earlier, of course you want to keep them safe and make sure don't be sending them off. Don't be like having them just walk by themselves. Lesson learned. Not for me though, just in general. But I just it's pretty safe for the most part. Not to be worried about, but it's Atlanta though. So Atlanta, and some you just gonna have to be aware of everything. So of course it's gated. Housing is usually not a problem. I would say the dorms that's in the campus, so there's 2 dorms that's like outside of the campus. Those are more of a tiny bit more risk, I would say. But on a real note, like it's Atlanta, and Atlanta is definitely known for like breaking in cars.
That's some new type shit.
They definitely been trying to get more on top of it. Like during my time at Clark, there was a couple of like shootings and stuff like that because Clark is more open.
I beg your pardon?
Atlanta itself in general though is they break into cars. So like definitely just try to have your car like inside the campus or like an area that you know that is safe as well too, because sometimes at night, like it depends. If you're on campus, you want to park next to your dorm or next to like inside the gates, depending on if you have your car your freshman year or sophomore year. Upperclassmen, but you live in upperclassmen. Usually upperclassmen dorms are outside of the campus. That's kind of more of a little bit more risk, but you can just still park in a parking lot that's in campus and just walk to your dorm. That'd be like the safest way. But for me, it was one break-in. They broke into like 40 cars.
Jesus Christ.
And I was an upperclassman. They had my car got broken into. And I want to say it's more like it's a campus thing too, because they supposed to do a job. They did reimburse me and everything, but still just a hassle to go through all that. But again, it is Atlanta, and Atlanta is known for that. So definitely, if you got a nice car or stuff in your, just don't have stuff in your car. Make sure your windows are tinted. Like at the end of the day, make sure your windows are tinted. Surrounding of everything, but for the most part, you're pretty cool. You're pretty safe. Everything's gated. Just when it comes to parking wise and leaving the outside gates of college, technically you are in the hood, so that's like most of the HBCU. So of course, pick your poison on that. Keep your head on a swivel and pay attention to everything. So yeah.
You ain't big enough, nigga.
I did 10 questions on Q&A. Let me know if you guys want a part 2 of the Q&A. I have 10 more stuff that I can talk about, like parking and everything like that as well too. All that struggles and deal with. So yeah, overall, you're gonna have a good time. Of course, congratulations to the freshmen that are their freshman year right now, going in strong. Y'all gonna have a good time. Pretty sure I went through the ceremonies and all that. So if you guys want a part 2, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let me know. I'll probably do a part 2 for you all guys in general. If you have questions, you can ask me in the comments. I'll be able to answer them as well too. So hope you guys enjoy the video. It's KHAIO Cardi. Live life, enjoy college as always. And that's just part 1 of the Truth About Morehouse. Of course, I'll bring some more people in. I'll even bring people from Spelman and Clark, let them know the truth about their schools, because each school is different. As you can see, every school is gonna be different in general, CUs wise as well too. So let me know if you guys want the video, part 2. Hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Morehouse.